Like old school, we dated for a while. And by the way, I've never actually had a one-night stand. I haven't. Believe that or not. I planned that baby together and we were madly in love. And it just went wrong.
Were you in love with him?
Yeah. Why would you have a baby with somebody if you're not in love with them?
Picture a blockbuster funny man whose megawatt grin once ruled the box office, now staring down a living reminder of promises he abandoned. Years back, Eddie Murphy pledged to Mel B that their baby would bind them forever. Nearly 2 decades later, that same child, transitioning and unapologetically visible, meets a father still wavering between embrace and retreat. Buckle up, because this story rockets from dizzying romance to headline-blazing denial, and its final twist hasn't landed yet. On June 9, 2025, Angel Iris Murphy Brown quietly tweaked one line of his Instagram bio, swapping she for he and introducing himself to the world as Adrian. Headlines lit up faster than a Vegas marquee. Mel B publicly applauded their flourishing co-parenting, yet fans who remembered paternity suits and icy soundbites sensed unfinished business.
Did you ever think possibly of not having the baby?
Absolutely not. This is a planned baby. This is something that we both sat down. Yeah, we both sat down and we discussed it. Listen, I have an 8-year-old. I'm not about to just have a baby by accident. I'm a very responsible parent. We both sat down and planned it, and yeah.
But you didn't plan to be married?
Yeah, we didn't make set-in-stone plans to be married, but that we definitely spoke about it, and that was, yeah, one of the things.
Were you in love with him?
Yeah. Why would you have a baby with somebody if you're not in love with them?
Eddie Murphy liked the post, but a single heart emoji can't rewrite 18 complicated years. Some stories look picture perfect, until you flip the phone and read the cracks. Adrian's 90-second coming-out video, filmed in a sun-splashed London flat, packed the weight of a memoir. He spoke of chest-binding mishaps, the first time a friend used he, and his dream to mentor trans teens who share famous last name. Publicly, Eddie responded with a heart emoji. Privately, insiders say his first call to Mel simmered with caution, not celebration. He worried about paparazzi, pronouns, and timing. He promised weekly check-ins, then let 3 weeks pass, fueling whisper campaigns about new gaps behind glossy statements. The internet never forgets, and it loves digging up dusty receipts.
Visibly recoiled when you heard Eddie Murphy again say those words in that interview, which were very hurtful, whatever the circumstances.
Well, of course, it's not a nice thing to hear. We were both to blame. I wouldn't have said that publicly, and he apologizes to this day about that. Because that baby was planned. We planned that baby together and we were madly in love. And it just went wrong.
Keyboard sleuths rewound to May 1997, when LAPD lights snagged Eddie's SUV and revealed trans dancer Shalimar Silly in the passenger seat. Eddie insisted he was just giving her a ride, but tabloids milked every lurid angle. TikTok editors spliced that vintage footage beside Adrian's transition reel, asking how a man once linked, innocently or not, to a trans woman could wobble when his own child came out. Memes and think pieces crowned him king of double standards. Eddie's publicist issued a single-sentence note about unwavering love, but the meme factory had already printed the t-shirts. Screenshots last forever. Father wound scars can last longer. Court papers show Eddie's child support checks arrived like clockwork. $25K per month in 2009, bumped to $35,000 when Mel's income dipped. Yet visitation clauses were so vague that father-daughter days depended on crossed fingers. Meanwhile, Eddie's other 9 kids peppered Instagram with game night selfies and red carpet cameos. "My kids are my greatest blessing," he gushed to a lifestyle mag, rattling off their creative wins. Adrian liked the article but didn't comment, a silence louder than a paragraph. Guilt eventually knocks, sometimes over overpriced avocado toast. By spring 2024, Mel told entertainment outlets the co-parenting vibe had finally blossomed, crediting Eddie for stepping up to occasional school pickups. Baristas at Adrian's favorite cafe remember it differently. Eddie reserved the same corner table every Thursday, cracked anxious jokes, and one day slipped into Adrian's dead name. Eyes widened, tears blinked back, lunch ended early. Mel later beamed on a podcast about blended family success, never mentioning the slip. Online detectives filled in the blanks. When words fail, some parents default to the language of zeros and commas. Rumors swirled of an 8-figure trust fund set to unlock on Adrian's 18th birthday. Eddie's lawyers said nothing. Mel quipped, "My son wants a father, not hush money." Commentators split. Some hailed generosity, others called it golden duct tape. Financial pundits reminded viewers that California support stops at 19 unless renegotiated, underscoring how family bonds sometimes ride a fiscal timer. And then came the birthday bonfire where everything went up in smoke. Cool May night in Malibu, 30 friends, driftwood flames licking the sky. Mel arrived early, balloons bobbing. Eddie rolled up late, entourage in tow. "Happy birthday, Angel," he boomed, 3 mispronouns before the cake even cooled. Adrian's patience snapped. "It's Adrian." Silence thicker than sea fog smothered the party. The teen left minutes later tweeting, "Some things you can't unhear." 600,000 likes in 12 hours, and fresh columns dissected Eddie's learning curve, or lack thereof. Hollywood loves a comeback arc, and rumors spun one almost overnight. Trade blogs buzzed that the Academy wanted Eddie to host the 2026 Oscars, resurrecting the gig he'd famously ditched years earlier. At a winter charity gala, Eddie riffed, "I've got 10 kids, at least the ones who answer my calls." Cameras cut to Adrian, eyebrow like a raised drawbridge. Clips went viral. Columnists wondered if Eddie could juggle Hollywood's biggest mic while dropping dad jokes that hit too close to home. Online polls skewed against the hosting idea. Viewers wanted Eddie to nail fatherhood before the teleprompter. To grasp the fallout, you've got to rewind to the spark that started it all.
Like old school, we dated for a while, and by the way, I've never actually had a one-night stand. I haven't. Believe that or not, I have not.
There we go. And your dad, he asked your dad for your hand in marriage?
Yeah, it was a very loving, safe, just loving relationship.
Back in April 2006, Beverly Hills, Mel B scans a charity gala and spots Eddie's unmistakable laugh cutting through champagne chatter. A mutual friend offers introductions. The pair wave them off, diving straight into childhood stories on linen napkins. 1 week later, they're downing late-night sushi on Sunset, then binge-watching Coming to America in Eddie's private theater while he roars louder than anyone. By week 3, he's giving her a mansion tour, joking she'll need the floor plan before you move in. They tattoo each other's signatures on their thighs. And Eddie formally asks Mel's father for her hand, promising a partnership, not a fling. Friends recall breakfast at noon, karaoke battles at midnight, and love notes so sweet they'd rot enamel. 4-6 fever-bright weeks, it felt unbreakable, until a pregnancy test pivoted the script from rom-com to courtroom drama. Love may launch like lightning, but denial can black out the grid. Mel's positive test should have sealed their bond. Instead, Eddie tightened security and curfews, turning the mansion into what she later called a gilded cave. Months later, on a red carpet overseas, a reporter chirped, "Excited for the baby?" Eddie dismissed, "I don't know whose child that is until there's a blood test." Public jaws hit the pavement. Mel, blindsided, filed suit. DNA proved paternity, but emotional support stayed MIA. Even now, whenever Eddie posts family photos, that old quote floods comment sections. Proof a single soundbite can echo for decades. Long before lawsuits, Eddie and Mel's romance unfolded like a blockbuster montage set to early 2000s pop. After that Beverly Hills gala, their schedules fused overnight. Eddie wrapped filming days early just to catch Mel's London flight. She detoured tour rehearsals to crash on his movie set. They scribbled lyrics about each other in hotel notepads. Eddie sampled Mel's laugh as a ringtone. Paparazzi once caught them renting out an entire amusement park section at midnight, riding roller coasters in sweats, no makeup, no entourage. Eddie gifted Mel a vintage microphone engraved with "You Make My Life Sing." She countered with a Spice Girls jacket stitched with "My Comedy." Friends say they planned baby names on napkins long before the test turned pink. For a flicker, they were Hollywood's unexpected power couple, proof that fame could still surprise. And then, as quickly as it rose, the fairy tale hit a wall of doubt, lawyers, and daytime TV dissection. Long before family drama hijacked headlines, Eddie Murphy was pure box office rocket fuel. He barged on to Saturday Night Live in 1980 and, almost overnight, saved the show's ratings with Gumby, buckwheat, and that raw, cackling energy that made televisions feel too small to contain him. By 21, he'd headlined 48 Hours, Trading Places, and Beverly Hills Cop. 3 consecutive hits that minted him Hollywood's youngest cash machine. The late 90s cooled his streak, but Eddie shape-shifted again, voicing Donkey in Shrek and pocketing a Golden Globe nod for Dreamgirls. Then came the Renaissance. 2019's Dolomite Is My Name reminded critics why they'd once called him a comic genius. Coming to America 2021 reintroduced him to Gen Z streamers, and a teased Netflix stand-up special still dangles like a carrot in front of fans craving the old fire. Rumors of Eddie emceeing the 2026 Oscars prove Hollywood can't quit him, yet the same industry that forgives box office bombs still judges fatherhood missteps in Dolby Surround. In showbiz, you can always reshoot a scene, but real life rolls on in one take. While Eddie reinvented comedy, Melanie Brown was busy revolutionizing pop. As Scary Spice, she helped catapult the Spice Girls' debut Spice, 1996, to 23 million global sales, turning girl power into a cultural war cry. When the group hit pause in 2000, critics predicted solo career sputter, yet Mel's single I Want You Back topped UK charts and signaled she wasn't trading leopard prints for obscurity. The 2007 Spice Girls reunion tour grossed over $70 million. The 2019 stadium revival detonated ticket sites in minutes, and a rumored 2025 anniversary run already has nostalgic millennials refreshing browsers. Away from stadium strobes, Mel pivoted to primetime judging, America's Got Talent, The X Factor UK, and The Masked Singer AU, showing viewers the same fearless candor that once made tabloids tremble. Her memoir, Brutally Honest, 2018, peeled back layers of domestic abuse survival and mental health battles, recasting Scary Spice as a phoenix in platform boots. Today, she juggles rehearsal schedules, advocacy for survivors, and co-parenting headlines, proof that pop stardom might dim, but resilience has no off switch. Mel's spice isn't just a flavor, it's a survival strategy. Eddie Murphy once vowed the child he and Mel B planned would bind their futures. Instead, that bond unraveled into hashtags, legal briefs, and Oscar night cringes. Adrian was welcomed, then sidelined, embraced online, misnamed in person. Will Eddie step up before the final credits roll, or will he stay the punchline of his own family saga? So who's gonna be the next person in the limelight? Please like and subscribe for more of the latest celebrity news and updates. I'll see you all in the next one.